Hi, this is Janie from Paper Compulsions. I'm sharing a card for a Scrap-a-Dap-a-Doo sketch challenge on the Scrap-a-Dap-a-Doo Crafts Facebook page. I'm starting with a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I'm making an A2 size card, so the finished piece will be 5.5 by 4.25. I have the smaller pieces there are the card liners. I'm showing you on a circle punch how you can put markings on the punch to give you guidelines on how to cut just a little corner of the page to make it look like it has a ticket shape punched out. Any circle punch will work, and I just put markings on there with a Sharpie marker to give me guidelines on how far I want to push in. The washi tape you see is just to help me see the bottom line a little better. And here I'm just scoring the one piece of the cardstock in half to make my card base, and I'm going to punch the notches out of the card base also. What I was doing earlier was punching notches out of the card liners. The card liners are just slightly smaller. There I was showing you that you can punch all the corners from the outside, or you could have opened it up and punched them from the middle. I'm coloring the front of the card with picked raspberry distress ink, and I wish I could go this fast in real life. And here I'm going to do just the front of the card, so I've put a little piece of paper under the card to help protect the bottom so I don't get ink on it when I'm moving the card around. Now I'm just swiping the edges to give them a little bit of color. I'm adding a stamp that has my name and blog information about it, and it didn't all stamp, so I filled it in with a black pen. Here I'm going in just the edges of the inside of the card, and my card liners will go over this. I just need to add some color, and I'm making sure I add some color to the middle there so that it'll be have a finished look when I put the liners in. Now I'm just adding ink to the edges of the liners, and I'm putting a little bit of washi tape on the top of one of the card liners and on the back above the stamp. Putting the card liners in. Here's a trick. Once you put your first piece in, you can put your second piece in face down, tape up on top of it, and then fold the back of your card starting in the middle and fold out, and then you get a perfect placement. I'm using a piece of chalkboard cardstock for the front mat, and I have just cut a rectangle and cut the notches out like you saw, and then I've made one slightly smaller and cut notches out. I'm putting repositional tape over it, and then I'm going to use that as my guide to draw a chalk outline on the edges. I'm using a chalk pencil that I have had for ages and ages, and just going over that. Eventually, I go back and go over it with a white paint marker, but it would have been okay with the chalk. And with the chalk, you can't erase. You see there where I'm erasing some. I already had one made that I'm just going to go ahead and add. That was cardstock. That was a pattern paper from My Mind's Eye Chalkboard Studio. The sketch had 3 bands going across the card, and I have chosen to let the zigzags chevron chalk marks represent those bands. I put a layer of cardstock beneath it to kind of help this chalk tag stick out from the background, and I've made another tag that's slightly larger. I'm adding washi tape to the edges so that you see the hot pink peeking out, and I just put the tape on there, double it over, and trim the edges. And if only I could go that fast. Now I've adhered the chalkboard tag to the background, and I've added a little bit of ribbon to the top. I cut around to where the stripes look like they were just independent chevrons, I'm adding a flower that I have shown on another video. It's a combination of the pretty flower and a tattered flower. I have several flower videos that you can see on how I make my homemade flowers. I've also added 3 sequin dots from Recollections. And here you see the finished cards. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.